South Africans know that Cuban doctors and engineers are just a money laundering scheme where our taxpayers' money are given directly to the Castro regime in Cuba. As former U.S. Director of Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo mentioned last year, Cuban doctors and engineers receive only 10% of the money from the Cuban regime. Furthermore, Old Havana may be a popular place for tourists visiting Cuba, but it is also a place where residents experience water shortages daily. Solidarity has meanwhile sent a list of more than 120 unemployed yet capable and willing South African engineers to Minister Lindiwe Sisulu. The uproar comes after Lindiwe Sisulu welcomed 24 Cuban engineers last week to address the ANC's water crisis in South Africa, but it appears that Cuba needs 120 South African engineers more than South Africa needs 24 Cuban water engineers. The 24 Cubans will cost South Africa's taxpayers about 64.7 million rand, and there are big doubts as to whether the cost will be justified after opposition parties expressed the hope that the 24 Cubans will not display the same lazy and reluctant attitude as the previous employees in the Free State displayed. However, back in Cuba, some towns only have 2 hours of running water every 5 days. Dutch photographer San Derks spent time documenting the crisis on the island. "I did not expect there to be a shortage of water on a tropical island," she says. Cuba has a huge infrastructure crisis where much of Cuba's water infrastructure is dysfunctional. Up to 50% of water is wasted due to leaks, and water shedding is the order of the day. In the 2 hours every 5 days, people have to fill tanks on their roofs, which in turn can cause disease. The Cuban mess is worse than that of South Africa, and their problems are both socialist in origin. But their engineers are invited to come and destroy our water infrastructure, something the ANC is already doing excellently. This is clearly a redistribution of money and money laundering. Last week, Solidarity sent a list of more than 120 capable and willing South African engineers to the Minister of Human Settlements, Water and Sanitation, Lindiwe Sisulu. According to Solidarity, these local engineers offer more expertise at a lower cost than the import of Cuban engineers suggests. Dr. Dirk Herman, CEO of Solidarity, said, "We reached out to the minister with a list of some of the country's most experienced and knowledgeable specialists in engineering, including some with master's and doctoral degrees and others offering as much as 42 years of experience. They are all ready and willing to start working immediately." He further stated that our list also includes specialists in various fields of engineering and project management, but if the minister needs other expertise, we will, with the help of our engineering guild, search for those skills. There is simply no excuse not to use our own intellectual and practical resources. Solidarity further argues that in the midst of the unemployment crisis, in which South Africa's official unemployment rate is currently 33%, it is unfair to import any foreign workers when better workers are available locally. It is a shame that the government itself does not take Ramaphosa's wake-up call earlier this year to support local employees and businesses seriously. If the minister really could not find local workers who wanted to do the work, then she did not search very hard. For this reason, we will bring the engineers to her, says Dr. Dirk Herman. According to Solidarity, the ANC government has a bitterly bad history with regard to squandering and misappropriation of tax money, and it makes matters worse when the government deliberately spends taxes on foreign employees with dubious expertise. Dr. Dirk Herman explains that taxpayers are already fed up with seeing and hearing their taxes being wasted almost daily. In addition, we cannot allow the looting of these funds to take on an international color now. Herman concluded by saying, "The minister's decision is unacceptable and cannot be left there." Our message is clear. Here are the leading experts in the country. They raise their hands. They want to work. The onus is now on the government. Now explain to us, to them, and to the taxpayer why local is no longer good enough.